Hey y'all, welcome to the double feature. Yes, I am doing a double feature this week because I'm going to talk about two movies that came out about a week apart, and they are so similar. So similar, in fact, I'm going to describe them as one movie. Before I even say what movies they are, you probably already guessed what movies, but so this movie is about a young woman that has to run around for a certain amount of time and escape her potential murderers because these murderers are trying to sacrifice her to a demonic entity or the devil. So that because they made a deal with the devil and they're trying to retain or gain their powers. So yeah, that's pretty much what the movies are about. Ready or Not to, here I come, and they will kill you. First, Ready or Not 2, directors Matt Bettinelli Open and Tyler Gillett. These two are known for like the VHS movie. What else? Directing Abigail, Ready or Not, the first Ready or Not, and Scream 6. So this one stars Samara Weaving, of course, reprising her role. Catherine Newton, Elijah Wood, um, many other people, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Sean Hannity. This is kind of in the trailers. She has to stop the other families. Now the other families are coming after her because she won the first game. This one was pretty good. Of course, if you've seen the trailers, the twist on this one, kind of twist, is like her sister is involved this time. If I am already comparing the two movies, I do think They Will Kill You was better than this. I'm just gonna say that. Ready or Not 2 was a little more forgettable, I would say. I did see that one first, so maybe it's the recency thing. It kind of felt pretty much like a retread of the first one, which is like I get it. That's a sequel, and that's what happens in the sequel. But I don't think they did anything too new or surprising. So it was kind of like, yeah, okay, we're here we go again, right? Which is fine. Like I said, I did not like the movie. I liked it. I just think They Will Kill You was a little bit better. Yeah, I would say definitely both are worth seeing, especially if you were a fan of the first Ready or Not. Then yeah, see this for sure. It was good. It's good, enjoyable. A little thriller slasher thriller horror deal. Yeah, if you like these kind of movies, do that. Definitely do both. Okay, so for the spoiler section of Ready or Not 2, basically the families, so like the head of there's a head family in charge of all the families, right? And these other families are trying to kill her. So the head chair is held by their father. And he has to, for some reason, I don't know why their cult works this way, but when someone wins the game, the first game, he has to die and open up the chair for the other families. So they open up the chair for the other families, and you basically send like your oldest and most capable of your family, or you can nominate someone to go for you, basically. So they take Grace to their hotel resort thing, basically, and all the families are there, and they send someone to play for them. And she goes out, they send her out into on the back nine or whatever, and they have to hunt her down. And the first family to kill her, the first person to kill her, rather, in the family, takes the throne, takes the high chair, right? So they have the most power over all the other families. Okay, and then basically these families have so much power. It's like they can stop wars with a text message, right? Their dad is in a he's bedridden at home, and he's like watching CNN or whatever, all the news reports, and like, this is the craziest non-ending, this is the longest and most brutal war we've had, whatever, whatever. And he sends a text. He's like, all right, end the war. And then it's breaking news. The war is over, right? So like, these are those families. Like, they literally control the world. So you want that high seat, obviously. So all these people go in and try to kill her and her sister. Of course, her and her sister are a little bit estranged, right? She's her emergency contact. So when she's in the hospital from what happened in the first movie, her sister shows up to the hospital, and then they send out the message like, all right, the game is on, like, you guys are in, the game is on. And somebody jumps the gun, right? And if you remember from the first one, when people don't follow the rules, they explode, right? So somebody jumps the gun because this dude's just outright crazy, and he goes to the hospital to find her. So things pop off right away, which I appreciate about this movie too. In the hospital, her sister shows up. They're not too cozy right now, right? Because they haven't spoken in however many years. And then dude shows up, tries to kill them both, but you know he gets exploded. So they have to do the game properly and follow the rules like they do before. And then Elijah Wood's character is actually a guy that like he's like the game warden. Like he's the one that makes them follow the rules and stuff. And he has the book, and he reads the book, and he's telling them, this is how you have to do everything. And he watches people sign the papers, and he's that guy. So they try to kill her, and she kills some of them, but not all of them. So the dad that was in the high seat, his son is just straight up crazy. And even his sister is like, all right, you're a little, like, they're all crazy because they're in this like devil worshiping cult. But he's like, her sister's like, he's a little off his rocker. Like, you got to help me with this. Right. And then he kills his sister because he overhears her telling her that, because you're not supposed to be able to kill the other players, but the rules don't apply to directly to families. So because they're brother and sister, he's good. He kills his own sister, Grace, instead of dying, because she gets to a point where she's like, all right, I'm cooked, right? But instead of dying, and instead of them killing her sister, she says, marry me. If you marry me, then we will you'll have the high seat, and the game will be over. Because that's a clause. She finds out through the Japanese woman, I think she's Japanese, that there's a clause where if you're family, it's all good, basically. So she's like, marry my son, and then everything will be good. We'll have the high chair. And then that lady dies, obviously. Basically, he marries her at the end. He marries her, and then right after they are officially married, as you could probably guess, bow, she kills him, right? She kills him, pushes him down the hole, right? Their little worship hole or whatever. And she takes the ring. She's like, I got the high chair now. Like, what you gonna do about it, right? And they're all like, whoa, what? And then she's like, so I can do whatever I want? He's like, yeah. And then she takes the ring, because if you have the ring, you have the power. She throws it in the hole, right? And this is it's like a hole of spikes where they sacrifice the goats and all that stuff, right? And so she throws it in the hole, and all the families and their followers, all the dudes jump in trying to get the ring, right? And then they have to get it by a certain time, obviously, like, because they have to make their sacrifice or do something, or someone has to be in charge by a certain time, or that's it. Everybody's cooked. So they're all fighting for it. Ding, 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 clock goes. And they all just explode, just blood out of the hole, right? Like crazy. It was crazy. The sister element was really good too, because obviously they start off a little estranged, and then they get closer and closer again as the movie goes on. And then by the end, they're ready to be sisters and take care of each other again. Right? Ready or not to, here we go again. Here I come. You can't find me. You can't hide. It was fun. It was entertaining. It was bloody. It was good horror. Okay, so now for They Will Kill You, which now that I think about it, I actually enjoyed much more. They Will Kill You was like crazier. It was more wild. I think it was more over the top with the violence and the action, like in a good way. But They Will Kill You, like I said, is basically the same premise as the other movie, except with some key differences. Directed by Kirill Sokolov, who is a Russian director known for some smaller films that he did before. Why Don't You Just Die in 2018, he directed, and No Looking Back, he directed in 2021. Starring Zazie Beetz, Patricia Arquette, May Hala, Peterson Joseph, and Malfoy, Tom Felton. And a great cast. I think everyone played their part well. Patricia Arquette, it's hard to see her and not think of Severance, but she did a great job in this. Now, to jump into spoilers for this one, basically, Zazie Beetz actually she impersonates a cleaning lady, because in this temple, okay, this building that she goes to is a temple for the devil, and they say that in the trailer. They have to make a sacrifice once a month, which is why so many people go missing there, in order to keep their powers that they have from the devil. Now, she goes to this building. She impersonates a cleaning lady and goes to this building on purpose because she's looking for her sister. She gets word that her sister is there. Her and her sister are from an abusive family, abusive father. They try to run away, but Zazie Beetz ends up shooting their dad and running away from the sister. But the dad survives. So the sister goes back to live with the father, the abusive father, and Zazie Beetz ends up getting caught and going to jail, when she gets out of jail, she goes to try to find her sister, and she hears that her sister was last seen at this going to this building. So she goes there prepared, right? So she's been in jail like squabbling, like she's been squabbling, like she's prepared. Okay, she comes with weapons and everything because again she's looking for her sister and she doesn't know what's going on. So I like that difference between her character and the character from Ready or Not 2, where she's a more capable heroine, right? The other girl is just like she's just a girl who was getting married to this dude and found out she has to defend, like run for her life. Zazie Beetz, on the other hand, is going out hunting. Okay, she's kind of like the bride, and I bring that up too because this movie, like I said, it's more over the top. It's crazier. It's gorier, I think, and it has that. It has a very Quentin Tarantino feel to it, which is another reason that I probably enjoyed this movie a lot. It gave me vibes of Django, vibes of like Kill Bill. So that was fire too. In the first night at the hotel, when they try to get her, she kills like 5, 6 people, just takes them out handedly. So it's like, okay, this is, at first you're thinking, okay, this is going to be a breeze. But the twist on this is, which is also nice because she's so capable. It's like, well, where's her, someone, like, is she going to have to fight someone bigger and badder? She's going to have to wrestle a dude and he's going to, you know what I mean? Which all that kind of stuff happens. But also their power that they have from the devil is that they can resurrect anytime they die. So she kills them all, and then she goes out in the hallway, and she's like, "What's up? Where's my sister at? I'm here for my sister." And they come back out the room, and she's like, "Didn't I just? Your head is in your arms. You okay?" Which is a really cool aspect, like I said, because what do you do when you create a character that is so capable, right? And she can very well handle herself. She's very prepared for this situation. Where's her struggle, right? And so that was the cool aspect of this, I thought, was like, oh, okay, so she's gonna have to kill these people over and over again, and then she has to find out how to make them stay dead. After she finds her sister, she finds out that her sister kind of chose to be there. You know, it was one of those things where it's like, well, I didn't really have a choice, but I'm staying because, you know, I don't want to die. And also, I didn't have anywhere to go. I didn't have a home. These people basically took me in. Her sister, you know, ends up coming around to it. But there's a lot of really cool scenes, a lot of really cool kills in this movie. I mean, when you can kill the characters over and over, it's like, you know, you got to kind of get creative. And they do. There's a scene in particular that keeps running through my head where they're in this dark room, which is kind of like it's a dining hall. And it's very dark because they turn the lights out or whatever. But at first they're running around her and like beating her up and running past her, and she can't see any of the villains, right? But then she gets to the point where she has this lighter, kind of like the whole movie. She has this lighter she's working with. There's a lot. The lighter is very important device in the film. I guess it's like her fire to keep going or something. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but the lighter is a very important part of the film. But she has this axe, and then she lights the axe on fire, and she goes back into the dark room. And so you just see her swing around the axe, and like when she gets closer, she can see the people. So it's like the light is on her, and she's taking out these dudes one by one, like as she, you know what I'm saying, goes through the room. And it's really cool. It's a really cool movie. It was shot really well. I think it's very well choreographed. It's very well directed. Like I said, the action is cool. The action is really cool. It's there's some really interesting, visually interesting scenes in the movie. And if I was gonna pick between the two movies after having seen them, if I was gonna pick one or suggest one over the other, it would definitely be They Will Kill You. To a little comparison, the relationship between the sisters is kind of similar to the relationship of the other film. Like, they haven't seen each other in years. They're a bit estranged. They're reluctant to even like work together at first. Well, you know, one wants to work with the other. The main character is obviously kind of more, you know, ready to approach love with the sister and all that. And the sister that comes into the picture, you know, that's kind of like the not side character, but the like sidekick, I guess, is a little more reluctant to rekindle their relationship in both films, which works. I was watching an interview with Kirill, the director. He mentions being inspired by like anime a lot, and he name drops Afro Samurai in in the video, in the interview, which is, yes, you can see that come through in this movie. Like, definitely has elements of Afro Samurai. So they all have their name written on a pig's head, okay, which is on a spike. The pig's head is on a spike. If your name is on the pig's head, then you are immortal. You are resurrecting. You're able to resurrect when you die, right? So when the pig erases your name, then you can die and stay dead. They tell her sister to write her name down and then sacrifice Zazie Beetz so that she can stay with the family, right? So the sister, what she ends up doing, ends up writing Zazie's name on there and then kills herself to make Zazie immortal. And the sacrifice is paid. He's like, the sacrifice is paid. Like, bet. So they're like, oh, she's immortal now. So she just starts going, right? And then she just starts going, knowing that she can't die. Now she can go off, right? He possesses the pig's head. This is how they communicate. This is how they commune with the devil. He possesses the pig's head and talks through this just pig head on a stick. Pig on a stick. It's crazy. Patricia Arquette, when she starts killing everybody, she's like, help us. So he's like, all right, bet. So the pig head, it has like these tendrils. The pig head, she puts the pig head on Patricia Arquette, right? And it like gets into her skin. It like possesses her. So Zazie has to fight this Patricia Arquette devil-possessed pig-headed demon creature, right? Which, going back to Afro Samurai, and he mentions this, like Afro fights, at the end he fights to do the teddy bear head, right? With Samurai. And this kind of has that vibe. Yeah, so what she ends up doing is lighting the pig head on fire, right? So all the names get erased, and she throws it down the elevator shaft. Yes, there's an elevator shaft. It's a tall building. And then everybody, basically the building blows up, and everybody in the building dies. And since all their names got erased because the pig's head was on fire, everybody dies and stays dead this time. But what she did was she sliced her name off the pig's head, and then because her and her sister's names are very similar, it's Asia Reeves and Maria Reeves, so she puts an M at the beginning and then makes the S look like an R. So she changes the name to Maria Reeves and then uses everybody else as a sacrifice, right? And so her sister comes back, gets resurrected at the end. Like I said, it was great. I would definitely put They Will Kill You on my watch list. If it hits a streaming service soonish, you know how that goes. Then yeah, watch it. Take a night, watch it. It was great. It was entertaining. It was funny. It was explosive in a different way than Ready or Not 2 was. So that's the two sisters run away from satanic cults trying to sacrifice them to the devil, double feature. So yeah, great. Have fun and keep enjoying things.